I'm Celeste and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am celebrating the 31 days of Halloween. That means every day in October I'm uploading a brand new video. In today's video, I'm actually teaching you how to make these horns. These horns are really tall, so me wearing them is kind of like it's a duck down. It's not helpful. Anyways, these horns are very easy to make and lightweight, and I love them. In my video, I actually show you making these like brown instead of blue. I finally decided to make them blue, so that's what they are. These are lightweight, made out of tissue paper and foam and a recycled headband. I actually used this headband for something else, so yeah. If you have any questions about this tutorial, make sure to leave a comment down below. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm CelesteOrchid. I'm a cosplayer of 15 years. I've won multiple awards and I'm master level. I don't know if I could qualify as a master level now with how good everyone's costumes are, but I'm here to teach you guys how to start cosplaying too. And so let's go ahead and get into today's tutorial on making this little horns.
To start this project, you want to make sure you have a very thick headband base. I'm recycling this from an old project. I'm going to be using tissue paper and some scrap foam for the base of the horns. What you don't want to do is crumble it all together to create the base. No, that's not going to work. Instead, we are going to fold the tissue paper multiple times to make a nice strong peak at the top. And the bottom part is going to be rolled to create a graduated bottom. Notice how I make a few folds and make sure it rolls inward, and this way it's going to be very stable and strong. Go ahead and curve it just a little bit to get the shape that you would like. And ta-da! This is your first horn base. For me, tissue paper is easier to work with in my opinion than aluminum foil. I do think it's easier on the wallet as well. Just gotta save up those present wrappings for potential cosplay or costume pieces. Next, I'm going to be using clear packing tape to secure the horn. Make sure this goes tightly around it, but not too tight that it squishes the shape. I'm using scrap foam to create the layers and ridges of the horns. If you don't have any scrap foam, you can easily buy a pack of foam sheets at your local craft store. Start at the top and create your first layer. You want to make sure the peak is completely covered and no taped tissue paper is showing through. When you have the correct amount of coverage for your top peak, go ahead and cut off the excess. I'm using hot glue to secure down the foam. Once you have the first layer down, now you repeat the same process all the way to the bottom, but make sure to overlap the new ridge layer on top of the previous layer. The number of ridges is really at your own discretion. I decided I wanted just a little bit of ridges, so I did 5. The biggest thing to keep in mind is how many ridges you want and then how much you're going to overlap these ridges on top of each other. You want to make sure that they're evenly spaced every time you add a new ridge. This next part you definitely want to mask and keep the windows open. I will be using a soldering iron to create lines in my horns to make it more organic. Using a scrap piece of foam yet again, I'm going to practice making these lines before I bring it to my horns. Keep a nice wet sponge close by to keep your soldering iron clean. To make sure that your soldering iron is working, make sure to test it on something first before your final piece. The tighter you want your horns, the lighter you want to go. The deeper you want your line to be, go ahead and sink it in just a tiny bit more. Be careful not to burn it really hard, otherwise you can't go back and then you have to start all over again. Notice that I already have 2 horn pieces here and they're mismatching colors. That's because foam sheets are pretty inexpensive and it's nice to work with that. Again, I'm going to be starting at the top making very light lines. You want to be very delicate with your hand at this part, so make sure to go all the way around the top for full coverage. Continue working on this until you have gotten all the way down to the bottom. You want to make sure that you have the heaviest lines where you feel is correct. I even started burning some of the top part of the ridges just so that it's not so uniform and clean. Make sure to take breaks and turn off your soldering iron to get some fresh air. When you are finished with creating the lines, cover your horns in Mod Podge. You want to do this to seal the foam. Foam is very absorbent like SpongeBob, so it'll actually eat the color rather than it sitting on top of the foam. 1 to 2 coats is enough of a base cover before adding paint. For the base, I wanted it to be dark, so I'm using a dark forest green and doing full coverage with this. This is totally up to you what color you want your horns to be, but I really wanted my lines to show through because that's a lot of hard work, so I'm using a dark color first. Keep in mind the base of the foam colors that you used. Since mine are funky colors, I need to hide them. Once my first base coat of paint was dry, I went ahead and tried a light brown color for some natural looking horns. This color went really well over the dark green. You can try different colors when all your paints are dry. Don't forget that you can add layers of the same color to help with the opacity. When your horns are completely dry and done with paint, feel free to coat them again in Mod Podge and then use hot glue to glue them to the headband.
So I had to like duck down so you can see me wearing my horns, but aren't they fun? I love these things. Oh my goodness. So these horns are very lightweight. I wanted to use this for a different cosplay. And if you guys know which cosplay it is, leave the comment down below. And if you are right, I'll just do a little happy dance that you follow me on my social media handles. They're in the link down below. And if you're new to my channel, thank you for coming. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to subscribe. Check out some of my other videos on the 31 days of Halloween. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay spooky. And I don't know why I'm doing that again. All right, bye.